YouTube, welcome back to Chef Flowaz Kitchen, and it's me, Travis Flowaz, also known as Chef Flowaz. And thank you guys so much. I've seen we have a few new subscribers, so thank you guys so much. If you haven't yet, watch last week's video, the jerk barbecue cauliflower tacos. They're beautiful. Get you right for next week for Taco Tuesday. And again, so today I usually film videos from my ebook Vegan by Chef Flowaz, but today I'm going to be featuring a recipe from a friend of mine, Chef Dacres, who shared a brown stew chunks, as veggie chunks, so the soy chunks video, as well as a chickpea potato patty to kind of top with that. It looks beautiful. So today I'm going to attempt that and share with you guys. I hope you like it. And next we're going to get back into videos of my ebook recipes. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the ingredients. So here we go. So we have first our portobello mushrooms, our beautiful pimento berries, some fresh thyme, our potatoes, chickpeas, fresh garlic, onion, sweet pepper, and back here we have our oil for cooking, our browning, which is a necessity for the brown stew. We have some onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, the essentials, and some salt, and of course ketchup, which I definitely will use in the brown stew, and some Scotch bonnet sauce. So due to COVID, I don't necessarily have access to fresh Scotch bonnet at this time, so I'll substitute with the sauce. And let's get into the first step of the recipe. So first off, I take my chickpeas and I rinse them. I'm going to place them in this bowl until later. And now I'm going to wash and peel my potatoes, actually pre-washed actually. So I'm going to go ahead and peel them now and then put them aside to soak in some cold water. So our potatoes are peeled, and I'm just going to chop them up here into quarters and put them in our bowl to rest in some cold water. So I'm just going to give them a nice little wash and then set them aside. So now to get into prepping for our brown stew, I'm just going to go ahead and chop up our onion and garlic, as well as our sweet pepper, which we'll be using for the patties as well as the brown stew. And let's get into that. So at this size garlic, I'll be using 5 cloves. I know there are some garlic lovers over there, so of course, use to your own discretion. So here we have our finely chopped garlic, and as for the onion, I went with kind of like a rough chop for the brown stew. Kind of like to see my onion pieces in my brown stew, so I kept them at this size. But if you would like to chop them fine, I know a lot of people hate to see the onions. I definitely go ahead and chop them finer for this recipe. It doesn't matter. So next up are our mushrooms, of course. As for these, it's brown stew mushroom. You kind of want them to have a nice large size to kind of enjoy their texture. So I'm going to give them a nice side chop. I'm going to cut them into 4 and then cut slices of these pieces. Here we have our mushroom pieces ready to go. So I also just got done chopping up our sweet pepper. You're going to want to julienne them to about this size, and that should be good for your brown stew. Either way, they'll cook out and kind of just come into the flavor of the stew itself. So without further ado, let's get to the pot. So first off, I want to add 2 tablespoons of our cooking oil to the pot. I'm going to bring this up to heat at about a medium high. I'm going to go ahead and test it with the first piece of onion. And there we go. Then I'm going to add the rest of our aromatics in. So garlic, thyme, and onion. I'm going to go ahead and let these sweat in the oil until there's a slight golden brownness on the edges of the onion. So the onion has been going for a little bit. Now we're going to add our mushrooms. So our heat is still at about a medium high. So I'm going to go ahead and cook these down a little bit until they start releasing their moisture. And then you're going to see that mushroom flavor really start coming out and start mingling with the onion and garlic. So I'm also going to add some crushed pimento berries. I kind of just gave them a quick crush with my knife. So I'm going to drop those in, get that flavor going. I'm going to start adding our dry seasoning, so our onion powder. Then I go in. I use about a tablespoon or two. Same with our garlic powder. There we go. And then in with the black pepper. And just a bit of sea salt. And give that a stir. I'm reducing my heat down to medium as well as the mushrooms start to cook. Okay, I'm going with our first wet, which is our browning. Now you just want to make sure that there's a light coat of this. Using too much of this will make it too bitter. Of course, you can add some sugar in the end to kind of substitute for that. Look at that color coming now. Lovely. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to deglaze my pan with some water. There we go. I'm dropping our peppers at this time. Bam. So you may have seen the steam. Sorry about that. Kind of blocked out a bit of when I was adding the water as well as the browning. But yeah, now we're at the stage where our moisture is in. I'm kind of making up the sauce of the stew. So I'm going to go ahead and add some ketchup as well. Give it some of that tomato sweetness, the acidity that we need. Stir that in. Now this is going to want just a bit more moisture, but I'm going to let it cook in so the mushroom can start releasing its flavor. Again, the heat is at medium. I'm going to give it a cover like so. I'll leave that for a little bit. Now over here, the culprit of the steam was my potatoes, which are boiling to create our cakes later on. So I'm going to leave this to boil until they're very soft, just nice and easy to penetrate with a fork, and then they'll be ready. So I leave this to boil for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. So let's check on our stew now. So we're checking for taste, as well as just the doneness of the mushrooms. I wish you could smell this. It's coming together now. I can smell all the flavors of the garlic and the onion. Here, try it. Okay. So where we're at right now, we kind of just need a bit more salt. So I would just add about a teaspoon. And just a bit more for sweetness from the ketchup. So I definitely recommend like kind of cooking it in stages like this so you get to your perfect flavor. And one thing I'm going to add as well is our Scotch bonnet sauce. So that kind of becomes a nice part of the flavor. As you can see, I like it quite spicy. So you can see we may not need a lot more liquid, but I definitely want some gravy for this. I'm just going to add a bit more water. So definitely compensate for that with your seasonings once you've kind of come to this stage. So in with our liquid again. Kind of give that a little loosen up. There we go. And back with the cover. I'm going to check this back again in 5 minutes. Alright, so let's go in for a final taste test now. Yes, bread. I wish it wasn't steaming up like this so you guys could see it. But yeah, man, this is it. Let's give it a taste. Here you go. Yes, love it. So, I'm gonna remove the heat now. Cover it. Kind of just set this to the side to let it do its thing. And then these potatoes are almost done. I'm gonna get into making the potato cakes next. So our boiled potatoes are done. They're nice and soft and beautiful. I just rinsed them with some cold water so I don't burn myself. So I definitely recommend you guys do that, or else you'll be having a hard time making the patties. So let's get into the next step. We're gonna mash these with our chickpeas. So here we have our rinsed chickpeas from earlier. Just gonna drop our potato in like so, as well as some finely chopped sweet pepper that I had earlier. Bam. Get everything in our bowl. Now I don't have a potato crusher, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use this fork, so pray for me. And yeah, I'll see you guys when it's all together. Alright, so this is about as good as I can get it for now. I'm gonna crush it up a little bit more, but then I say, oh, Chef Flowaz, you don't add no seasoning yet, but I'm gonna add it now, man. So we're going with our sea salt first. I'll give it about 2 teaspoons. Then we're gonna add some onion powder. There we go. As well as some garlic powder. And one more thing I'd like to add is my favorite, some smoked paprika. Boy. Alright, well, let's get back into crushing and bringing this all together. So right now my hand I'm tired, but here is our finished product. I get some color from the smoked paprika and the flavor is all in there. So I'm going to start making the cakes now, kind of shaping them into some flat pieces and then bringing them to our frying pan. So as you start to shape the cakes, I'm just going to grab a piece kind of like this size, roll it into a bit of a ball, and just kind of flatten it so it's kind of like a dumpling size kind of thing. So like so. This is about how thick it is. There you go. Again, just kind of roll it into a ball, give it a light press, kind of form it a bit, and there we go. So I'm going to do about 8 of these, yeah, and then when I get to the frying pan. So our potato cakes have fully formed. Here we have 8. I have a bit more, so I can probably make about, you know, maybe 3 or 4 more probably. And I have a pan here heating at medium-high heat. Kind of fill up the diameter of the pan. It's like a shallow fry kind of vibe. And then once all of that's done frying, I can have our paper towel here to rinse off our excess oil. And I'll give you guys a sneak peek of the brown stew. But that's it. Alright, let's go. So our first batch is in. So my heat is now down to medium since the oil kind of came up to temperature. Once the other side is golden brown, I'm going to remove them and put them into excess oil drain over here. But guys, I just did my first flip. And look at this beauty. My goodness. So these are frying for about 3 to 4 minutes on this side. I'm going to do the same for the other side, so we'll have this beautiful result again. And when these guys are done, I cannot wait to show you. So we're all done. My chickpea potato patties are all finished. Now I will say, people, these are a little delicate. So I'll definitely be careful when taking them from the frying pan to your paper towel. As you can see, this guy is a little broken, but it's all good. So I'm going to get into plating this with a brown stew, and I hope you guys enjoy that. Alright, so we'll be plating our brown stew first. So here we go. Here's our mushroom brown stew. So first into the dish. we go. Now let's get our chickpea potato cakes in. It's one. Might just go with 3 for this one. Just one more. Pow. And just some fresh thyme to top. And here we have it, people. Our mushroom brown stew and chickpea potato patties. So again, here we have it, guys, our mushroom brown stew and chickpea potato patties, courtesy of Chef Dacres. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I know I enjoyed making it. Once again, big up yourself, Chef Dacres. I'm about to dig into this. And I'll see you guys next week. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys again. Peace.